Good morning, Faith UCC.
1, 2. And welcome to Faith UCC.
You're not up yet.
I'm not up yet.
No.
Where's Christiane? Did she disappear?
I'm right here. Christine's right here.
You're going to come up after the pulpit talk and after the second song, Wendy. That's okay, sir. For everyone born, a place at the table. For everyone born, clean water and bread. A shelter, a safe place for growing. For everyone born, a star overhead. For woman and man, a place at the table, revising the roles, deciding the share, with wisdom and grace, dividing the power. For woman and man, a system that's fair. And God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. Yes, God will delight when we are creators of justice, justice and joy. For young and for old, a place at the table, a voice to be heard, a part in the song. The hands of a child in the hands that are wrinkled. For young and for old, the right to belong. For gay, bi, and straight, a place at the table. For lesbian, trans, a welcoming space. A rainbow of grace and gender and color. A covenant shared, the chalice of grace. And God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. Yes, God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy. For just and unjust, a place at the table. Accuser abused with need to forgive. In anger and hurt, a mindset of mercy. For just and unjust, a new way to live. For everyone born, a place at the table, to live without fear and simply to work to speak out with witness and worship. For everyone born, the right to be free. And God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. Yes, God will delight Strings and Things. Have it another round of applause for them today. Okay, take two. Good morning and welcome to Faith UCC in Dunedin. For everyone who's here and everyone who's online, we're really happy that you're here with us. And if you have never been here before and you're a visitor and you'd like to know more about us, you can join and learn more about us by receiving our newsletters, by giving us your email address and signing on the friendship book that's in the foyer below the, what is that thing called, monitor. And if you're online, you can send an email to faithucc.org and also give that same information. We'll be happy to let you know what's going on. We get real busy this time of year. A few announcements this morning. Tomorrow evening, that would be Monday, at 7 p.m., in the gathering space, there will be a presentation titled Seeing the Gospels Through Jewish Eyes. It will be led by Barry Blood and will examine research done by the late Bishop John Shelby Spong concerning how and why the Gospels, Mark, Matthew, and Luke, were written and how they were used by the early followers of Jesus. This information has been right before our eyes in the Bible all our lives. But we've never seen it before because, well, we just aren't enough Jewish. Tomorrow evening, 7 p.m., in the gathering space, Seeing the Gospels Through Jewish Eyes. And there is a guarantee. After seeing this information, you will see the Gospels in a different light for the rest of your life. Thank you, Barry, for giving me this. We have another announcement. Social Justice is going to get back on track here. They will be meeting Tuesday. We've had a bit of a hiatus. On Tuesday, November 11th at 6:30, and you can email or text Nancy Pedersen with things you'd wish to discuss or wish them to take up or any concerns you may have within the social justice realm. And Dunedin Cares, we had a whopping donation week. What was the total? Who knows? 1,081 pounds, people. And let me tell you that I volunteer there, and those shelves needed every single thing that you brought because we've had quite an uptick in all of October, and it's only going to get crazier. I drove by here yesterday morning to go do something at I think it was 7:15 in the morning, and there were already cars lined up. And they don't open until 9:30. Okay? So I don't know what the total was, but I know they've been seeing anywhere from 65 to 75 families per day that they're open. And that's in a 2.5-hour time span. So they're cranking through families and cranking through the food. So.
And last month, there were 170 new families, and the month before that, there were 199.
170 new members, new families joined, and all they have to do is just give them their information. And it's just their identity. And that is only to check that, make sure that they live in the 3 communities that food pantry serves. And they can only go to this food pantry. They had to cut it back a few years back to just once a month. So, but there's lots of them that people can go to, and they do get a list if they're concerned about that. But please, if you can, continue to give. And news about our solar. I got an email that installation will start tomorrow. It should be done in 3 days. And on Friday, if you see a drone flying overhead, it's because the company that we went with is going to
take a video. I think they did some before, and they're going to have some after, so we'll be part of the information that they will share with other communities like us that have decided to go the solar route. Oh, I'm sure. I don't think you can miss that, that's for sure. So, Casey, is there another slide?
Yes.
Okay, and this is the reminder, the next RISE meeting is Saturday, December 6th, so put that on your calendar. That is available to anyone who wants to participate. Men and women are definitely encouraged to participate. And this month, the discussion will be about Kenya, Tanzania, and the Global Fund for Widows. So if you're not familiar with this, this is an organization that we share money, we share food, we eat lunch together, and the money that we would have spent if we had gone out to lunch, we donate, and it goes to a specific cause, and we learn about that cause at that meeting. So it's always enlightening, sometimes heartbreaking, but very worthwhile. And I think that's all of the announcements. Yes, ma'am? Oh, okay, Barbara has an announcement to make.
Not like you haven't heard about this before, but on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock.
Can you come over here and do it?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
There will be an inquirer's brunch, and this brunch is for new members, potential members, people that are just really curious about the church, people that are just really curious about Mike. Coffee and tea and snacks, it's all really good time. So if you're thinking that maybe you've found your home, this is a great way to meet a few other people that are also seeking. It's a great opportunity to ask questions that you don't have the opportunity to ask every time. And when you walk away, you'll know everybody else who was there. So please think about coming if you can, 10 o'clock on Saturday to the kitchen. Thank you.
And for those of you online who couldn't hear any of that, or maybe it was muffled, this Saturday is a new member inquiry brunch. And Barbara brought up a good comment about if you're curious about Mike. I clearly am not Mike. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Julie Del Giorno. And so now I'm introducing our opening, one more?
You want, the Name and Cares Challenge?
Oh, we do. We have a new challenge for everyone, okay? Again, we have had some people offer to donate $500 in cash. And what was the amount that was?
It's a match, so.
It's a match, so we get another 500 pounds worth of food. They're going to match it with $500 in cash, which is wonderful, because they do go and buy things. They look every day, they look at the shelves at the end of the day and see what they're missing, and they'll place an order and get it delivered the next day, so that they try to always have what people typically need, and that's stuff like, flour and sugar and ketchup and, just things, the basic stuff. So keep that in mind. Great opportunity, $500 match.
But they don't buy coffee.
Linda.
Yes, Mount Shopper volunteer. And they really use the detergent, which is $1.50. What do they need?
Okay, at the, this is someone who, Linda is speaking about what people could use. Little things, it's not little, but they do have small containers of laundry detergent at like the Dollar General, the $1.25. It gets like 8 loads of, 21 loads. Okay, 21 loads in a small thing for like $1.25. That's something that they don't buy. We buy food with the money that's donated at Dunedin Cares, but the other things, the necessities, things, and personal items, things like that. We could go on and on. But, so, anything that you use, anyone else uses. So keep that in mind. Anything else?
Coffee and tea.
Coffee and tea. And please, join us in our next song.
Thank you.
Greetings and blessings, family of the Great Spirit, the creator of us all. Casey?
Give me 1 second.
That was magnificent.
Yeah.
Allow the gentle sound of the sacred flute to guide us as we begin to focus within. Let us be filled with the light of love, for the Great Spirit, God, is surely in the midst of us. So quietly, let us begin this journey within. Let us start with a slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, gently allow your body to move into a comfortable position. Again, breathe in and out slowly as you allow your body and mind to relax. This time, fill your lungs with a deep, cleansing breath. And as you do so, know you have filled your lungs with the light of the Holy One. Now as you exhale, release any and all negativity, fears, and anxiety back to the universe. This time, breathe in the breath of a powerful healing energy. You are in a sacred place, a place where anything is possible. Far from the troubles of this world, in your very own holy place. Consciously, let go of all that is not life. The great healer is always with you, now and forever. Let go and let God. Breathe in again. Hold it for a second. Filling your mind with the reality that you are now in the presence of one true God and filled with the power of unconditional love, justice, and peace. Breathe in and out, allowing your body and mind to go where your eyes, ears, and mind are fully open to universal love. So, never forget, you can always return to this sacred place. Simply find a quiet place, close your eyes, and be still. The sweet, gentle spirit of love is always there in the silence. So as you return to this place, remember your love, your strength, your very own special mighty spirit is a light unto the world. So as you walk in this world, be courageous. Know the powerful but gentle Great Spirit is always guiding you and will give you the strength, the wisdom, and the courage to show your light. With every step you take and every kind word you speak, for we are the beacons of the Christ light. Let your light shine, for wherever you are, God is. Blessed be. Namaste.
morning's reading is from There Are Rivers in the Sky, which is a novel by Elif Shafak, a book everyone should read, especially women. The story is of one lost poem, two great rivers, and three remarkable lives, all connected by a single drop of water. Quote, Grandma says time is a sentinel tree marked with invisible rings inside, its straggly branches extending into the infinite sky, never perfect, never linear. In the span of a sentence, a storyteller can jump back and forth over centuries, as if a millennium could pass in the blink of an eye. But then, it takes hours to describe a single event, every minute a stretch, an eternity. Remember, my heart, story time is different from clock time. And now a further explanation. Clock time, however punctual it may purport to be, is distorted and deceptive. It runs under the illusion that everything is moving steadily forward, and the future, therefore, will always be better than the past. Storytime understands the fragility of peace, the fickleness of circumstances, the dangers lurking in the night, but also appreciates small acts of kindness. That is why minorities do not live in clock time. They live in story time.
I took the lid off. Hopefully, I won't spill it. We understand your religion is written in a book. If it was intended for us, as well as for you, why has not the Great Spirit given it to us? And not only to us, but why did he not give it to our forefathers, the knowledge of that book, with the means of understanding that rightly? We only know what you tell us about it. How shall we know when to believe, being so often deceived by the white people? Brother, you say there is but one way to worship and serve the Great Spirit. If there is but one religion, why do you white people differ so much about it? Why are you not all agreed, as you can all read the book? Seneca Chief, Red Jacket, 1805. You're probably thinking it's getting real heavy, don't you? 3 years ago, I walked back into this church after a 2-year absence during the pandemic. I met a lot of new people, and I'm getting to know even newer people. One Sunday, I forgot my name tag. Somebody said, "Everybody knows you, Ellery." Well, maybe that's true. On the other hand, I don't think many people know me outside of church. And for you people that don't know me, my name is Ellery Albrecht-Subia. I was born in Oklahoma at Fort Sill Indian Hospital. I belong to the Hasineh tribe, Caddo, according to the government. I'm the youngest of 11 children. My father was Mexican American. I have 5 older half-brothers and half-sisters. My oldest half-sister was 3 years younger than my mom. I grew up with nephews and nieces that are older than me. I grew up on a farm, maybe 100 students in the whole school district. We learned how to read, how to write, how to add and subtract, and how to farm. How to be a farmer or how to be a farmer's wife. I lived 3 miles outside of town, which didn't even have street names. If I stayed on the farm, I probably would have gotten married, had 2 or 3 children, got divorced, lived in a trailer, and reflected on my life as a Walmart greeter. My own version of Brokeback Mountain. Instead, Mom went to nursing school in Muskogee when I was a sophomore in high school. Yes, I'm an Okie from Muskogee, got it pinned right up here. It was a milestone in my life. It was like going from Kansas to Oz. Mom completed nursing school and moved back home. I told her I wasn't going back to the farm. Muskogee High School had the largest school classification in the state, which was 4A. Eakley was Class C. Eakley did not have musical instruments in school that I remember, and I know they didn't have a music or art program. I told Mom I'd rather live in a park than go back to the farm. Remember the last pulpit talk I did? I spoke about being committed. Afterwards, I posted a quote on Facebook that said, "The moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too." Somehow, somewhere, somebody told Mom about a foster care home called Moreau Indian Children's Home in Muskogee. She wasn't asking about me. Mom wasn't looking for a place in Muskogee for me. In the course of a conversation with someone, Mom said, foster care came up. My guess was she was probably gossiping about a parent who wasn't raising her child right. Mom was told that a cousin was in foster care in Muskogee. Keep cousin in mind. So about a month after turning 15, I went into foster care. Muskogee is about 225 miles from Eakley. I didn't think about it at the time. Looking back, Mom made a huge sacrifice for me. She allowed her youngest child, her baby, to live with someone else, someone she didn't know, and trusted them to raise me during possibly the most impressionable years of my life. It reminds me of Solomon in Kings, when a mother was willing to give up her son so he wouldn't be killed, or Moses, or I was a different version of Ruth. So there's something else you might not know about me. I have read the Bible. After high school graduation, I went to college. I'm a retired social service director, having worked in rehab and elder care for about 35 years, a little more. After high school, I never lived in Oklahoma again. Still, I have always been very close to my family, and it's my family that I want to talk about, particularly my mother, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother. I thought my great-grandmother was mean. Her name was Tinhue. Her American name was Pauline Washington. She was born in 1878. She was probably nearly 80 when I was little. She died when I was in college. We called her Little Grandma. Her daughter was Grandma. Little Grandma didn't speak conversational English. In fact, she spoke very little English. Come here. Don't run. Where Mama? Very guttural, no inflection. When I was a little kid, I always thought she was angry. One summer I came running into the house. We didn't have air conditioning. I don't think we had insulation. It's 98 degrees, 90% humidity. I beelined it in to get a drink of water, and I'm guzzling. Little grandma said, "You drink like a horse." Little grandma used a cane, which I always thought she might whack me with. She never did, and she never threatened me. I still thought she was mean because she gave us cookies with sand in them. When we're given something by an elder, we take it. We can't say no. Acceptance is a sign of respect. The cookies were actually really good, even though they had sand in them. It wasn't until years later I found out they were Fig Newtons. And it wasn't until many years after that that I realized little grandma was a very sweet lady. She was dignified, very proper, and respectable. I wish I paid more attention to her. My whole experience of little grandma has been transformed. I gotta take a drink for grandma. My grandmother was a woman born before her time. Born in 1899. Her name was Chunhut. Her American name was Julia Edge. Grandma died in 1997. On her gravestone is Chunhut Julia Edge. Even though she was married 5 times, she never took her husband's last name. You don't know how confusing it is to have Dunlap, Leonard, Bob, or Compton as your mother or uncle's surname. And Grandma called everybody cousin. Remember, I'm the youngest of 11 children. I have nephews and nieces older than me. The cousin, nephew, niece distinction was very blurry for me. And add to that mix, I got a brother-in-law cousin. A cousin married one of my half-sisters. He's my cousin, but not her cousin. They're only related through marriage. As a child, I didn't know who I was related to. I just figured if they got brown skin, then we're kin. Grandma said long ago, when natives wanted to start a family, they just moved in together. Maybe there was a dinner, something to acknowledge the event. Certainly not something that was going to get registered at the local county courthouse. Then the Christians found out these families were living in sin and not blessed by God. People had to get married again. Keep in mind, some of these people had grown adult children. And maybe some of these people had gotten tired of waking up to the same face year after year after year after year. Grandma said some people saw this as an opportunity to unlock the ball and chain. So some switched partners and then got married. Grandma had been arrested and been to jail. She wasn't necessarily put in a cell. She said she got arrested for gambling because the sheriff wanted her to cook beans for the police. And gambling was a convenient way to make that happen. Grandma also told us she and her father were interpreters way back then. I think sometimes they even went to Washington, D.C. One time, Grandma was talking to my sister Myrna about something or other. Don't remember that particular conversation. Anyway, involved a trip to D.C. and who was going to be part of the delegation. Myrna asked Grandma, "Why didn't you go?" Grandma said, "Well, I was gonna, but then I got knocked up." Told you, she was a woman born before her time. Still, Grandma was well respected, and especially within our tribe. She was invited to a dinner in Carnegie, which is Kiowa country. As one of the guests of honor, she was at a prominent place at the meal. And Grandma had about 11 or 12 teeth. She didn't know the Kiowas were going to go full dances with wolves and offer her a raw piece of meat, probably liver. She said, "I didn't want to eat it, but I didn't want to insult them. I gummed it as best I could. The more I chewed, the bigger it got. I was looking for a place to spit." My grandmother was something else. Mom was the perfect mother. She loved and raised all her children the same. It didn't matter if a person came into the family through birth, marriage, or adoption. There was no distinction for her. She was going to fulfill her role as a mother, love every member of her family. There were no degrees of love. Everybody got a full dose. Cliff will back me up on that. As I said, she raised us all the same, even if the situation didn't call for it. I'll give you an example. Remember, I lived 200 miles away. I was home for a visit. We were going somewhere. Mom started the car. The gas tank was nearly empty, and she said, kind of with a huff, "When the gas tank's empty, put gas in it." I said, "I don't drive. I don't even live here." Her reply was, "Well, I'm not just telling you, I'm telling everybody." I said, "I'm the only one in the car." I don't know how many times she said to me in my life, this is what she would say, "You just like to argue." That's what she said. "You just like to argue." Not necessarily. I just like to be accurate. Of course, I never said those words to her. I tell you these stories as I remember them. Is everything I said accurate? I tell you honestly, I have no intention to lie. If I was to write it all down in a book, would everybody who would read it have the same experience as me? Red Jacket, although he makes a valid point, there is but one book. How we interpret it is up to the reader. Of course, take into consideration, some people will tell you what it meant. For example, football. I watch a game in which the announcer is telling me what happened and explaining what happened. Sometimes I question if I'm watching the same game. I've been talking for a while. Some of you may want me to get to the point. This isn't the point. I heard over and over throughout my career from the elderly people I served statements like, "I have nothing to live for. I don't want to be a burden to my family. I have no purpose now." These elderly people feel loss of their family, loss of their careers, loss of their friends, loss of their homes, and for some, the final indignity, the loss of their underwear. Back when I was working, I didn't know the concept of clock time and story time. What I did know was my residents had a purpose. I had to figure out what that purpose was. I started telling them their purpose at that point in their life was to tell their stories. That's how they would live on in the future. And there are so many fascinating stories. In one of the rehab centers, 2 veterans had been at Pearl Harbor. One was wounded and in the hospital. The other veteran was a nurse and worked in that same hospital. They may have met 50 years earlier. I talked to a woman who was a passenger on the Carpathia, and she remembers the survivors of the Titanic getting blankets and sleeping on the deck. In September 1993, I was living in Las Vegas. A psychic who had previously been in my rehab center told me I was moving to Florida. We were having tea at her kitchen table. She said, "You'll be having Christmas dinner at your house in Florida." I wasn't planning to move. I wasn't thinking about moving. I moved into my house in Safety Harbor on December 8th. Why do I tell you these stories? What does it have to do with a Sunday morning church service? Because everything we read in that one book is a story. Recall Pastor Mike talking about thin places with the divine? Those thin places are available in our stories. Jesus taught his followers through stories. Were the parables true? If you think about it, truth wasn't the point. He encouraged people to think and to examine their own experience, their own spirituality. We learn through stories. We share, we grow close and love. We make a life together through our stories. The thin places are always available. It doesn't take a miracle to find them. So here is the point. Someday, when you're with your children, even if your children are 50 years old, or you're with your nieces or nephews, someday, when you're at the dinner table, or in the car, or you're in the backyard watching the grass grow, take a breath and say, "Once upon a time."
Hi, everybody. Ellery, I could listen to you all day long. Thank you, really. My name is Christine O'Leary, and I am married 20 years to my spouse in the house, otherwise known as my lesbian husband, Christy Ann, who literally found this church for both of us, and to save her a week of terrible worry, did not know I was asked to do this until 17 seconds ago. Hi, sugar. We come here to you by way of Connecticut and Maine and relocation after Hurricane Ian 3 years ago in Fort Myers. And then by way of OG Marge Brown, who carefully shepherded us in to fill out a double-sided sheet here at Faith UCC that got us to join and be involved, and then to name tags for which Christiane, after decades of service, had committed to never, ever wearing a name tag again. And as Barbara of Choir and Membership will tell you and remind you of the newcomers brunch at 10 o'clock next Saturday, she'll tell you that I am committed to losing it, my name tag every time, saying St. Anthony's to try to find it, then feeling ashamed, then telling on myself, and ultimately get one replaced quarterly. Thanks for the tip, you're right, I'm leaving it here and it works. People from home ask us, how is it that you could ever live in Florida? Florida, how could you go there from New England to Florida? And I say, I know, you're really worried about us, and this is gonna worry you more. We've joined a church. We've joined a church that we go to every single Sunday we can, and we love it. And what? Yes, they have a big screen, and we say and repeat all the words on the big screen, just as they do it, and we love it, and we at Faith UCC are the gayest, most affirming, progressive church bubble with straight people, too. It's amazing. It's the only one you've never heard of south of Dorothy's Rainbow. I am someone who was raised so Boston Irish Catholic that I thought there were only 3 other religions besides ours, the best one, you know. Catholics are so proud and literally do not know why. There are 3 religions that I kind of knew about that existed after the best one, the Catholics, and that was Judaism, Unitarians, and Jehovah's. You can laugh, that's funny. I remember the first joke I wrote in high school. It was, my neighbor growing up had it rough. Their mom was Jehovah and their dad was Unitarian, so they were always knocking on the door and didn't know why. I remember our friend, marathoner, a leader, and now I identify as Mike Curious, Pastor Mike, talking a few weeks back about faith. And with faith must be doing the work. And I realized that faith and doing the work of faith is where it could all lead us to joy. It definitely has led me, which is all I ever want these days, which, come to find out, joy is a renewable resource. It was also in the mid-'80s in Boston as a Catholic and all that had been going on, the corruption, the darkness, that I made this huge decision as a young person with whatever little money I had, that I would never, ever, ever share my money with the Catholic Church. And I certainly would never identify with the church because I was very upset. And so knowing not to join, knowing not to share money was a commitment I had done. This also sort of rolled out in terms of not wanting to RSVP, sorry, Esther, about yesterday. Okay. So for me, in church, I tried somehow to sort of patch it together and get what I used to love there, that feeling of feeling free and unconditional love to and from God in a church again. But somehow I couldn't get it like I did because I knew what had happened in the Catholic Church, and they knew what I had done. I was gay, and still gay, and always gay, despite wearing lipstick and liking red nails. Because I know and knew that God made me just as I am. Last time, at the time of giving, for the first time ever together as a family, we made our first donation to Faith UCC. It was a very, very big deal for us because for so long we had each tried to patch together how to best help the world in our own way wherever we saw fit. Christiane retired from a very hard system, and we both had started as social workers working with homeless people, and I with kids. You are the choir, Faith UCC. You are the choir, and you know this. But there is no greedy needy. There is no greed in need. I have raised millions for and worked for agencies that have big, big, big money. And they themselves do not know the impact clearly of what they are doing every single day. It's not like us at Faith UCC. Dunedin Cares is only one example. We know by the pound what we're doing. We know by the dollar what we were doing and are doing. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Faith does not have a lot of money. I stayed for one of the budget meetings back in the day and saw it in black and white or green and pink. I don't know. I couldn't believe how many copies were printed. The value of transparency is true here about money. The reason Faith does not have a lot of money sitting around is because it is deployed out of here and in the name of what is good and right, and I believe God would want us to do. Doing the work of the faith gives us joy. Here's my ask, because I am as bold and perhaps, and as, I'm so bold I can't read my own 46-point print. I even asked Sugar to bring my glasses, and she thought, okay, since when do I need glasses at church? So, okay, back to. So here is my ask. It is as bold as I am, perhaps, but it's because I know I'm supposed to tell you what I know. Vaguely, in my gut, exactly, and in my heart. And remember, just like you, God made me this way. The ask is for 100% participation. I would guess, only my guess, that we're at 42% participation. And maybe it's because you've never really been asked to give this a new thought in a new way. So right now, take a big deep breath, dukes down. We've all had our dukes up for a long time. And if you can, get to a yes, or a yes and some, or a yes I will still keep. This is not pressure. I am not pressuring you. Faith has not asked me to pressure you. There is no faith and pressure in the same sentence. This is an invitation. No yuck, just yum. We all have time, talent, and treasure. We all do. We all have a chance to be all in right now. There is a way to do that, however you know that is right for you. Think of your connection to Faith UCC like I do. It is my favorite subscription that I get to choose. And let's face it, we have all opted into subscriptions and we don't even know what credit card we used or what platform they're on anymore. They're buried. We don't even know how to cancel them. We don't have time to watch them, and we don't even know where they are. We made a choice to watch this streaming service, say, but it doesn't feel like a choice anymore. Netflix is $12. YouTube TV has now crawled to $83, and Spectrum is $105. If that subscription was here, that's $2,400 a year. If there were 100 of us, and 30 are in couples, I call this waitress math. If there's 100 of us here, and there's 30 in couples and families, That would be 70 individuals and 15 families making a decision that at 100% participation in this equation would be 85 donations. It's that easy. The faith work joy is not for watching on a screen unless you're my mama and daddy-o watching from Boston. I made it, guys. Okay. It's for you to be here right now, knowing that you're in the perfect place at the perfect time and perfect as you are to help anyone else get there from wherever they are or wherever they start or will be and who you are right now as today. Faith can and will help when asked. We can all do that. We can all trust that. I certainly do. People often say we are blessed, and we are, but sometimes, for me, that's code for lucky. And it isn't always the route for sharing. Luck is not the route for sharing all the time. One $5 coffee a week is 20 bucks times 12, that's $240. Maybe convert what you do not like that you're spending money on into a pledge to share, treasure here, or simply decide, I'm gonna share. Maybe it's 25 cents a day. That's $91. Or maybe it's a stamp a day at 78 cents. That's $284.70. Faith is asking you to share what you have. Any other church, I would say, wants your money. And it would be to vet you into their club for a tuition acceptance letter, perhaps a baptism, a marriage, or a funeral service. Pay to play. That is not Faith UCC. Faith needs our money to do all they and we need to do here and in the whole wide world. People say all the time, Christine, are you really this happy and digging for joy all the time? It's true. I am on the spectrum of angry and resentment, and teary and joyful, which my spouse considers a mania that drives her crazy. But I meditate as much as I can. I light my sage cones and I pray a lot. And I have learned this about myself, and for only myself that I share with you, with some vulnerability, and so I'm just gonna keep sharing. It's for the commitment and the share, and so how I don't get sunk by the incoming every second news of this time right now, and for the next 3 years, or as I like to say, only 1,177 days to go. But this is how I do it, because I know what's happening in the world. So how do I stay in my happy bubble? And I'm nervous to share this with you, but it's because you're faith. So this is what I do. I know I cannot be angry enough to help angry people. I cannot be sick enough to help sick people. And I cannot be poor enough to help poor people. The faith, the work to get to the joy of 100% participation. There is enough for all of us. There is enough for everybody. When we share what we have just as we have it, you can do this, and it will feel so good. I 100% promise you. Thank you for being the place for me to first take the risk to be exactly who I am and join you at church on the pulpit in the name of peace, love, and joy. Amen.
How in the world can I follow that? Well, what we have to do is figure out, some people might have some concerns that they want to lift up for our church community. Does anyone have any concerns that they want to talk about? Yes, Linda.
I have a dear friend that I've mentioned here before in calendar. She was fighting an infection for the last year and a half, and she had her leg amputated finally.
Oh.
But she's 82 years old, and she is a fighter, and she's working on getting on crutches, and she's amazing, but if you guys could just send a prayer her way, because she just started rehab, and she's ready to fight, but she could use a little support.
Linda talked about her 82-year-old friend who needs further support. So thank you, Linda. Anyone else? Oh, we're all doing great. That's wonderful. Aha, okay.
I have a friend that 2 years ago lost their son, and only a few months ago they lost their daughter.
Oh,
And it's got to be a horrible thing to lose both your children.
yes.
So I asked my friend for them.
Cindy talked about a friend who has lost their daughter and their son recently and needs prayer. Yes. Dan?
Dan, his surgery.
Oh, yes. Dan is having surgery on Thursday, and so he needs our love and support and prayer. Good luck, Dan. We're going to miss him in the choir for sure.
What time?
They call you the day before. You gotta be a participant.
Anyone else? Yes,
I
Linda.
hate to go again.
Go again.
Tomorrow, or actually today, is a memorial service for my daughter-in-law's dad, who died suddenly and tragically in a horrific accident, just at the end of August, and having a memorial service this weekend. You know, they're really struggling because it was just such a freak accident, so just some prayers for the Boxford family.
Linda talked about a memorial service for, who is that?
My daughter-in-law, Aubrey Boxco, and her family.
Daughter-in-law. Oh, all right. Anyone else? And for these, let us help follow the traditional Lord's Prayer and use your favorite image of the Creator, Mother, or Father, and join with me. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive our trespasses. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Participation, do it like that.